Hello, everyone, and welcome to what I would like to call the 2024 CFRL Cup Series Championship Media Day. So I am Ryan Harp, or Darth Kylo, the voice of the CFRL Cup Series. So now you have a face to sort of go along with it. And tonight we're going to be interviewing some of our Championship 4 drivers. Give their thoughts on the race, their thoughts on the season, and where things go from here. So I say we'll go ahead and start things off with the driver of the number 48 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, and that is Mr. Bradley Domer Jr. Now, so hello, Bradley.
What's up?
So how are you doing tonight?
Doing great.
That's great to hear. Now, you have been one of the most consistent drivers in all of the Cup Series this season. So, how would you say that consistency will translate into the race coming up on Sunday?
It's just a matter of staying out of trouble, not getting in anyone's mess. I just run good. Don't deal with idiots. Got a few of those in here.
Yeah, I can definitely vouch for that. So, not only are you one of the most consistent drivers in the Cup Series, you're also one of, if not the strongest qualifiers in the Cup Series, as nearly every race this season, you started either on or near the pole. Now, sometimes that hasn't really translated into the finishing results of the race. So is there anything from those particular performances this season that you're trying to work on in order to prep for the race on Sunday?
Well, I am consistent at finishing well. I just need to be more consistent with lap times. I feel like I can win more races throughout the year. Like I probably could have won the Indy Roval, but I made too many mistakes and gave that one to Mind Killer. But there's a lot of frustration built up, a lot of lack of confidence at points this year, especially not winning since April. But I just need to work on being more consistent through runs and making less mistakes on pit road.
Yeah, we'll see how that translates. But of course, you have won on nearly every track type that we've been on. Short tracks, the smaller speedways, the road courses, the plate tracks, but you still have not gotten that 1.5 mile win yet. Do you think that Homestead is your best shot to finally break that curse, as it will?
Maybe I've run well here in the past. Honestly don't know where my best 1.5 miles is. My best shot at winning one this year was at Atlanta, the first race. But unfortunately, my teammate came past me with 3 to go. But I've always been good at Homestead. It's a multi-groove track. If you know what you're doing, just gotta be cautious of turn 2. I've learned that with the few laps I've ran this week. But if I can just stay ahead of the others, from what I've gathered with the 2 practices I've done, it should be a fun and pretty close race for the championship 4.
Yeah, it should be a good one heading into Sunday. Now, if you win on Sunday, how big would it be for not only you as a driver, but you as an individual?
Well, I've been in this league since the beginning. Starting 2017, so about 7 years. So 7 years of trying to win a championship. I've been, I think it's 5 or 6 years I've been in a championship 4. Finished 3rd or 4th every year. I just can't get over that little hump. It's hard when you have Tegan. It's hard when Mike's found speed. But I'm glad it's back at Homestead. I feel like it's a pretty well even track for the Final 4. Ryan did win here last year, so I wouldn't be shocked if he pulled one out the fucking ass. But hope I can win it. It'd mean a lot. I don't think there's anyone more deserving that hasn't won a championship than me. Being second on the all-time wins list, and just one of the most consistent drivers.
Well, I would like to wish you the best of luck on Sunday. And as I say at the beginning of all the races that I've broadcasted, just go get them.
I'll try my best.
All right. So next up is the driver of the number 14 Office Depot Ford and former Xfinity Series champion and a fellow Ryan, I would say. And that is Mr. Ryan Parsons.
How's it going?
It's going well. How's it going with you?
It's going good. Going good.
So now this season, you had, I would say, a very unique path to the Petty Final. So do you think you can sort of give us an overview on how you got to this point?
I mean, thankfully I was consistent when I needed to be, and then near the end got lucky when I did. It's just been a very up and down season, so to be even in the championship 4 is a miracle to me.
Yeah, and I would say that luck is I would say I'm trying to put the words here, like it's contributed by the guy who is more than likely going to win the Ross Chastain Award for the 3rd year in a row.
Correct.
And that is Spencer Boyce. So now you drive for one of the powerhouse teams in Stewart-Haas. How has their support like helped you and influenced you in getting to this stage?
It's helped a lot. I mean, especially with having probably the best driver to race in this league, be my team owner, and to have that help actually really helps. So to be able to be on his team and to learn from him has contributed a lot.
Yeah, and that's great to hear, because who better to learn about how to race cars than arguably like the greatest driver in league history. So now, of course, as I said earlier, you already have an Xfinity Series championship from back when we actually ran the Xfinity Series. So you have been in this kind of situation before. So how does that translate to the Cup side?
I don't know how it will translate, because that year I was probably the most dominant driver in the Xfinity Series that year, to where where now I'm facing the big 3 of this league. And so I'm in an underdog situation here. I'm not the top dog. So I got to be able to stay with them and hope everything can fall my way.
Yeah, that's right. So now, of course, the last time that we raced at Homestead, or the Cup Series race at Homestead, you were able to get the win in a pretty convincing fashion. Of course, the race sort of ended with, some strategy calls being made. So
Yeah.
how will that translate to Sunday? Or do you think you have the car or the setup to help you get that, repeat win at Homestead?
If the car's like what it was last year, I think I'd be in a very good spot to have that repeat win, especially with how that car just ran so consistently on the bottom, and I was able to move it up and down the track. So if I can be able to do that this Sunday, I think I have a really good chance. But who knows, because these guys are really, really good. These are the top 3 drivers. So it's going to be difficult.
All right, so one more from you. Like, how big will this championship win be if you actually go out there and get it?
I think it'd be huge, honestly, because I'm the underdog here, and I think everyone knows who the big 3 are, and I think they're thinking that I'm going to be counted out, even though I've won at Homestead, because I've never been in a situation like this in the Cup Series, and it's going to be stressful. So I'm hoping that I can pull it out and be the champion. Just gotta hope everything falls the way I have to have it fall.
Well, of course, everybody loves an underdog story, and we certainly have one in the CFRL this season. But Ryan Parsons, thanks for coming on and letting me ask you some stuff. And good luck on Sunday. Go get them.
All right, thank you.
All right, next up is a driver that I feel definitely needs no introduction. arguably considered to be like the greatest driver in CFRL history, getting his 100th overall win in the CFRL and going for his 4th Cup Series championship, that being the driver of the number 4 for Stewart Haas Racing, Mr. Tegan Jones. So Tegan, how are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm doing fine. I would like to ask you some stuff if you don't mind.
That's what I'm here for.
All right. So I would say your performance this season, I would say, is basically like any other Sunday, like the last few seasons. Actually, you've been racking out win after win after win. Of course, you have 15 so far this season. So like, how would you rate your performance for 2024?
I definitely rate it better than what it was last year because I don't know. I kind of fell off and was making mistakes last year compared to this year. So I definitely rate it better than last year, but probably not as good as the 2 previous years, if that makes sense.
Right. Now, in various post-race interviews that I've been conducting this season, especially with, you in them, you said that it's not that you're slowing down, it's that the competition has been catching up. So how would you rate the competitiveness of not just yourself, but everyone in the league this season?
Well, I mean, you take like last year, Mike won the championship with 3 wins, counting the last race. You take this year, he's won 8, and we're just now getting to the last race. So obviously he has stepped it up. I think regardless of what Bradley says, he has stepped it up. He just doesn't have the win to show for it. Ryan made the Final Four this year, but doesn't have the wins that he had last year. So everybody has stepped up in their own way, even though on paper it may not show it. I mean, I've stepped up compared to last year. Michael has stepped up compared to last year. So it just seems like this year you have to be on top of your game, strategy-wise, less mistakes, being made. Very minimum shit that you used to be able to get away with, you cannot get away with anymore, especially with the way everybody has kind of have caught up since we've been on the same game for 5 years. It makes sense that everybody's going to be even.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the extra time on a game that's essentially copy and pasted from almost 6 years ago should definitely help in that. Now, I already asked your teammate Ryan Parsons about the last time the Cup Series ran at Homestead. Of course, with him winning, but you came in second. So, and you also had a very strong car that race. So do you think that your performance from that race will carry over to the championship race on Sunday?
It's just very hard to say. Something that's changed a lot this year. It seems like every time we go back to a racetrack compared to last year, it's completely different. For a game that is 5-6 years old, it's changed a lot in the last year. We started kind of noticing it last year a little bit toward the end of the year. I've noticed a lot of us has noticed it this year. They just don't run like they used to. And I'm somebody that likes to go to his previous races and kind of look at the shit that I used to do and kind of go off those notes. And I feel like now I'm having to make complete 180s on usually what I, do, previous years. So I cannot go confidently into this race thinking that I'm going to win it all or have a great, a good car or a great car. I could be off a half a tenth or a tenth, and that's all it's going to take for you to lose the championship. So, yeah, it's just this game has changed so much since last year and the year before. Just you don't know what you got till you get into a lobby full of people.
Yeah, you never know what to expect with NASCAR Heat 5. Now, of course, you're going to be going for your 4th Cup Series championship. You have 15 wins this season. you have over 100 wins overall. So how will this championship like define your legacy as the GOAT of the CFRL?
I don't know if it will. I feel like I'm not being conceited here, but I feel like I've already done that. I don't think winning this championship is going to make it, I don't think it's going to sink more in the cement. I don't think, losing it's going to, take away from it. I've still got 15 wins. I mean, that's almost double than the next person. So sometimes you get to the point where wins matter more than the championship. Sometimes, that's not saying that I'm not going to try for the championship and give it 110%, but and the stress is there. But at the end of the day, if I don't win it, if I finish second, third, or fourth for some reason, again, like last year, it's disappointing, but it's very easy to get over and very quick to get over. Like in an hour, I'm over it. So, like I said, I want to win it, and I'm going to give 100%, but it's nothing's going to change what I've done in this league, as an admin or as a driver. So it's just I'm pretty content, I guess, with what I've got, so far. I've won 3 in a row. I don't know if that'll ever be done again. Mike, wins this one this year. He's got a chance next year if we're able to keep continuing. So it's just nothing's going to change. I don't think, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't know about anybody else's. So.
Well, it may be your opinion, but it's a very strong one, I'd say. But thanks for coming on, and good luck on Sunday. Go get them, and I'll be watching.
All right, thanks.
All right, now last but certainly not least is your defending Cup Series champion from 2023, and that is the driver of the number 9 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, Michael Whitman.
How's it going? Oh, put me on the left. That's weird. Hi. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're hosting this thing. So,
I am. Yeah, I am. I'm running. I'm kind of behind the scenes running it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but how are you feeling? I know that you're in. I know you were in a different headspace the last time we talked at Atlanta, but hopefully you're feeling a little bit better about that.
Yeah, that's over and done with. You can't really dwell on that. Can you use it as motivation to want to win it more? I guess. But I feel good. I know that Homestead is usually a good track for me. Obviously, the championship came last year at Las Vegas, but I did have the Xfinity championship at Homestead, which, I didn't have much competition for that one. So that's not something you can really hang your hat on. But I definitely feel good going into Homestead. I have to just be confident. I know what I've got at the 1.5-mile tracks, and you can't really dwell on what happened at Atlanta, because just thinking about that, it's only going to make you feel bitter, and that's not a good mentality to have going into Miami.
Yeah, that's right. You got to clear your mind before you race for a championship. Now, speaking of which, and you kind of already alluded to this, or I kind of already alluded to this, but your championship last year was viewed by a few people, s'mores, that it was kind of controversial in how you won it. So do you agree or disagree that your championship was essentially a fluke?
I'm not here to really talk about what other people have to say about it. Do I wish that it happened differently? Of course I did. I wanted to race him straight up for it. That's not how I wanted to win it, but I couldn't do anything about it. It wasn't my fault what happened. So obviously it's just a product of the incident that took place that people are going to use it to discredit me. And if they want to do that, that's fine. This year, I think I've done a pretty good job. If anybody thinks that I wasn't a championship caliber driver, I think I've done a pretty good job this year proving them wrong, I guess. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but for me to go from 3 wins to 8 wins is definitely a big year. One thing I did last year that I was not happy with a lot was not being able to close out races that I feel like I should have won. And this year I've been pretty good at that. I've limited the mistakes I've made in those big moments that I would be more prone to making mistakes in last year. So, if people want to say that, they can. I know that this year I'm really proud of what I've done. And even last season I was proud of what I did. I had a really good playoffs leading up to it. There were a couple of races that I could have won that I didn't in the playoffs. Probably 2 or 3 of them. Definitely Kentucky and Richmond were some that I remember that I feel like could have gone my way. But I really can't let what people say about it affect me. It's, do I agree or disagree? I don't think that really matters. I'm just here to win it again this year, and hopefully it can be under some circumstances that are a little less controversial.
Now, of course, I was actually going to ask about your performance this season, but I think you already kind of answered it before I even got a chance to ask it. But of course, you more than doubled your win total, going from 3 wins to 8. And a lot of those wins came with some very gutsy strategy calls. Now, would you consider yourself to be the league strategist? I would say.
When it comes to terms of saving fuel and stuff like that, no, that's not what I'm good at. But I think what I am good at is in the middle of the race being able to kind of figure out where we're at in terms of mileage and how many stops we have left and how to take advantage of that and get the most, finish the race in the least amount of time possible. I think I'm one of the better ones at that. But obviously everybody, is pretty good at that. I've had a lot of races this year where people have been chasing me down at the end. So it's a tough spot. I don't want to crown myself the league strategist. There have been some races that I think, I won even. I think I would have won even without maybe being as aggressive on strategy as I was. But there are definitely some that I feel like my decision making in terms of when to pit, what to take, have helped me win a few races this year.
Yeah, definitely more than your fair share of races. Now, yours as well as all of Hendrick's performance has improved drastically this season. So how would you feel about Hendrick's performance?
I think you look at the numbers, this is probably one of our best years. We were pretty good across the board. I think 2 years ago, maybe last year. No, 2 years ago, we were pretty good across the board. We had all 4 drivers win multiple races. So that's good. Obviously, JB couldn't get on the board this year, but he was definitely close in a couple instances. And then we lost somebody along the way. But I'm really proud of what we've been able to do. Bradley's had a really strong year with 5 wins and running, top 5 almost every week. And I'm happy with my performance, picking up the wins this year compared to last year, and being able to finish the races is important to me. And I'm really happy with how we've just executed as a team in a lot of instances. Some of the super speedway races haven't gone our way. We've sped and stuff. But in terms of how the actual, just a regular race goes, we're usually always on the same page as a team. And, there is not, we had a couple of people in the past that would not be very good for team morale and, would think that Bradley and I are like kids and stuff that don't know what we're doing. But I think we've proven people that say that pretty wrong by now.
So now one more before I let you get out of here. How big would this championship win be if you were to go out there and win it and, go back to back?
Obviously, it would mean a lot, but you can't let it. I'm kind of with Tegan on it. I don't think it totally defines me. I have one. Obviously, I'd like to win one where people don't want to discredit it. That's my main goal of this whole season. But I'm really happy with the season that I've had. And if I don't perform Sunday at Miami, I'll obviously be disappointed. But I'm really proud of the season that I've had personally and we've had as a team. So, as I said, I'd love to win it. I really want to. But with the season I've had, I don't need to win. Like, when you don't have one, at least in the past, not many people get one with Tegan winning 3 in a row there, right? That's a lot of people's years that they have a chance to win it. When you don't have one, and this is how I looked at it, because I was in the last 2, you feel like you need to win it. You need to go out and do everything you can. I won one, so it's not like a burning desire, like I have to do this, but I really want to. So that's just my mentality going into it. But if I don't win on Sunday, I can't let it make my season. Like, I won't look at this season that I've had with a bad view. I'll look at it as a really good year, the best that I've ever had. And I know in my mind what I've been able to do this year, and how I feel about my performance. So I won't let that define it for me. I'm pretty happy with this year. But as I said, I'd really like to win it. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, you definitely had a very strong season. I know, because I watched a broadcast at a lot of the races. But
yeah,
Mike, thanks for joining me, and
absolutely.
I wish you the best of luck on Sunday, and go get them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for doing this.
Of course. So that is all that we have tonight. Very intriguing set of interviews from our Championship 4 drivers, and really the only way that we are going to settle this score is on the track. So be sure to join us on Sunday night for what should be a barn burner of a championship race at Homestead, Miami. It's back at Homestead, which is the most appropriate place for a championship race. So hopefully you'll join us for that, and we'll see you on Sunday. Have a good night, everyone.